Hi everyone, Ashlyn Giza YouTube channel. Today we are going to talk about boas, like as in boa constrictors, snakes, whatever you want to call them. My kids actually came up with the idea because we were talking about our old pet boa, and we had her for about a year and a half, but we had to get rid of her because my ex didn't really want her anymore, so we had to get rid of her, and we sold her to somebody else that really loved boas / reptile type animals, and I'm pretty sure she is doing okay. So anyways, I do have a picture of her. Hold on really quick. I'm gonna have my daughter pull the picture up and I'll show her to you guys. I think I might have showed her before in my videos called Pets, but if you guys didn't catch that or you're just tuning into my channel now, I'll show you the photo. So here was our pet Cash, and she, as you can see, she was very, very friendly. I mean, I was smiling obviously, and she was wrapped loosely around me. She wasn't wrapped tight around me. I was the one that essentially like fed her food and stuff, so she like more went to me more than my kids and my ex and stuff like that, because they usually say that boas are more of a one owner pet. Like they go and they favor like one person more often, but I did read that they are not really affectionate animals because they just don't have the brain capacity to be affectionate and to even know what that is. But I have read that they do show that they care about the person that they favor by, you know, not being aggressive and being more calm and stuff like that. Like that's how they show that they don't hate you. So I have a little bit of information that I pulled from the web that I'll read to you guys about boas. And then I'll tell you guys like what we fed ours and stuff like that. Okay, one moment. Let me scroll to the top because it's kind of a lot, but I won't read like all of it. Okay. So, a boa constrictor, also called the red-tailed boa or the common boa, is a species of a large, non-venomous, heavy-bodied snake that is frequently kept and breed in captivity. The boa constrictor is a member of the family Boidae, found in tropical South America as well as some islands in the Caribbean. Okay. There are several varieties of boa constrictors found in the pet trade, including red-tailed boas, boa constrictor, northern boas, and these snakes are native to parts of North, Central, and South America. Their care is fairly similar, and they tend to do well in captivity. That's how I was trying to say it before. While boas are generally quiet, it is very important to respect their inherent strength. Just as they constrict around their prey, they can wrap themselves tightly and painfully around you. However, with regular handling, most boas learn to be comfortable around people. In fact, they can become quite tame and calm pets. And they are fairly low-maintenance snakes that don't need much in terms of daily care once you get their housing and feeding routine down. Boas are typically active, alert snakes, and they might hiss or bite if they feel threatened. But consistent handling usually will make them tame and not so defensive. It's important to know how to hold a boa so that it feels secure and safe. One hand shoulder be under its body near its head, and the other hand should be under the back half of its body. The boa might loosely wrap itself around you for added support, but it typically won't constrict unless it feels alarmed or like it's falling. So as you guys could see in my picture that I showed of you, my boa was loosely wrapped around me. She felt safe. She didn't feel threatened. And that's because she felt safe with me. There was no reason for her. I gave her no reason to, sorry, that's my son. I gave her no reason to bite me. Okay. While a baby boa constrictors can be housed in glass aquarium, larger snakes will need a custom enclosure that's either commercially purchased or constricted at home. Hold on one moment, you guys. Okay, sorry you guys, I had to take care of my little one. Okay, so let me get back to where I was at. Hold on one second. Okay. While baby boa constrictors can be housed in glass aquarium, larger snakes will need a custom enclosure that's either commercially purchased or constructed at home. So a good enclosure size for an adult boa constrictor is around 6 to 8 feet long and 2 feet wide and 2 to 3 feet tall. The minimum size is around 10 square feet of floor space for a single snake. Okay, hide boxes are essential to make your snake feel safe. A minimum of 2 hides should be provided in an enclosure, one at each end of the cage. So, and they also need heat. So boa constrictors come from a tropical climate, so warm temperatures and their enclosures are essential. During the day, a temperature can be between 82 and 90 degrees Fahrenheit and should be maintained. Also, a basking spot of 90 to 95 degrees Fahrenheit should be provided. At night temperatures, it can drop to 78 to 85 degrees Fahrenheit. The temperatures in your snake's cage are critical, so accurate thermometers with measurements in several locations of the cage and a combination of I can't say that word. There are these certain type of heating lamps that you can buy. But the ceramic heat elements and heating pads can be used to maintain the temperatures. Any bulb or heating elements that in the cage must be put in a high place to prevent burns, to which the snake could be susceptible. And then let me see what else. So when it comes to food and water, boas should be fed more frequently than adult snakes. So young boas should be fed more frequently than adults, and they should be fed every 5 to 7 days for smaller snakes. Fully grown snakes are fed every 3 to 4 weeks. Adjusting feeding to maintain a good body condition in your snake, and to keep in mind that many snakes in captivity are overfed, so obesity can be a problem. The most serious disease that can affect boa constrictors is inclusive body disease, IBD. This is a fatal retrovirus that's similar to HIV in humans. An infected snake can appear healthy, as the virus can lay dormant for several years. Symptoms of IBD include a boa breathing with its mouth open, poor appetite, excessive amount of saliva. In advanced cases, IBD can cause snakes to lose control over their bodily movements. Housing your boa constrictor in separate enclosures from other snakes is a way to prevent IBD. It can be transmitted from snake to snake via mites, which carry infected body fluids. When you are ready to buy a pet boa, to know how to identify a healthy snake are some of these signs: alertness, firm and muscular body, no loose folds of skin, tongue clicking, clear eyes, no signs of retained shed, no visible external parasites, clean vent and healthy scales with no brown or curled edges, and no wounds on the skin. Okay, hold on a second. Boa constrictors make great pets thanks to their normally calm demeanor, relatively low maintenance, and easy to care for. They are also active, available in large varieties, types, colors, and sizes. They're especially good pets and as are other reptiles for people who are allergic to pet dander, which that's kind of why I like more reptile animals, because I'm allergic to cats and stuff like that. So although I love cats and dogs and pets like that, it's hard for me to be around them with their dander, and just with, I don't really like the cleanup of them. A snake you can just take out of the cage, clean the cage, and then you put the snake back in and voila, you're done. But okay, so what is the lifespan of a boa constrictor? It's 25 to 30 year lifespan. Female boas incubate eggs inside their bodies and give birth up to 60 live babies. Boas are 2 feet long, and when they are born and grow continually throughout their 25 to 30 year lifespan. The largest boa constrictor ever found measured 18 feet. Okay, so what is the biggest thing that a boa constrictor can eat? This is what I found from the web. So besides anacondas can't eat an entire full-grown cow, the largest animal documented to have been consumed by a constrictor is a 130-pound impala eaten by an African rock python in 1955. And this is really sad, but the question has been asked: has a snake ever eaten a human? Is this the first time a python has eaten a human? No. So there has been times, quite a few times, that snakes have eaten humans, but it says in 2002, a 10-year-old boy was reportedly swallowed by a rock python in South Africa, and in March last year, which that wasn't last year because that was posted in 2018, but in 2002 was the last time that a boy was reported to be swallowed by a rock python. So I'm very sorry to read that, and rest in peace to that little boy. And obviously, that's a really awful thing. Unfortunately, you do get that with a lot of animals. I mean, pit bulls are one of the animals that people talk about a lot, where they attack babies and kids and stuff. So, how do snakes show affection? And here's what I was telling you guys earlier. Research has found that snakes don't have an intellectual capacity to show affection, but they will show more acceptance for their owners who feed and care for them, which would have been like me with our pet snake. Okay, and lo and behold, the best way to tell the age of a boa constrictor is to talk to the breeder who hatched them, but without that knowledge. So if you didn't know who actually, was around it when it was born, you may tell by the boa's age by their length, their weight, and possibly looking at their coloration. So I was told by a couple people, especially the people that I bought the boa from, that if you count the diamonds, like their little diamond things that are on their back and sides, that's how old the boa constrictor is. That's what I went by, and according to our boa, she would have been 7, because that's how many of her round diamond things on her back there were. And she was actually 7 feet long too, so that was kind of funny, the number 7. So she was a fairly young boa. But essentially, what we did, so we had a huge, hold on a second. I'm going to try to get my son to turn off that toy. One moment. Okay, I'm really sorry. My 1.5-year-old son is at this age where he has to be just obviously touching and playing with everything. My other older kids are here helping me, so. Okay, so anyways, essentially what we did with our boa is we had like a huge glass tank, like, I mean huge. And we had like, chicken wire type stuff that went over the top of the cage, but it was like strong. Obviously, it wasn't quite chicken wire, but it was like wire cage thing that was on the top of the glass, so that way obviously he could have air that came through, but we had bricks and stuff on top of it so the boa couldn't push its head up on the top of the cage and lift the lid up and escape from the cage. So we had her in there, excuse me, secure, safe and secure, because obviously I have children, so I wasn't trying to put them in danger. So she was in there secure, and then we had water. We did have a little like fake looking wooden log thing that she could go under. So that way when she was eating or if she didn't want to be around anybody, she could put her head under there. And then we did have heating lamps like over her cage so that way she was warm. So we had everything that you needed, but what we did was we would, we would feed her rabbits, we would feed her rats and just the stuff that you feed boas. And a lot of people were like, kind of even mad at me that I had a boa. They're like, why did you buy a boa? Why would you want a boa when you have children? The boa's gonna kill your baby. And boas are evil, snakes are evil. I even got called a witch before because I had a snake. So there's a bunch of like negative things that people said when I had Cash, because that was her name, my boa. We named her after Johnny Cash, but I got a lot of bad feedback when we had her. But really, she was a great pet, and when they eat, they can't, like, it's almost, if you're alone, they could eat you or break your neck or like kill you or something. But obviously, why would you be that dumb to have a boa on your shoulders when you're alone? You want to make sure you always have somebody else there with you. But boas can't really eat you, because what they do to their prey is they kind of stare at the prey for a long time. They stalk it, is what you want to say. And then they'll like kind of cock their head back, and then they'll bring it forward and snap the prey, and then they'll twist it up and constrict it, which is where their name, Boa Constrictor. They'll constrict it until it passes out and dies, and then the mouth will open. Their mouth opens and they unlock their jaw. There's two things at the bottom that unlock and open, and they can eat like cats, rabbits, dogs, pigs. Like, they can eat big things like that. So they can't just eat you like people think they can. But yeah, so there's some pretty interesting facts about boas. And I've had a pet boa before, so if you're searching boa to look on information about boas, or to see if there's somebody out there that liked having a pet boa, I really enjoyed her. My kids will tell you that they enjoyed her. Do you guys enjoy her? Yeah, they're pretty shy, but they said they loved her. My son said yeah. So I mean, we would get another one, but my husband is not going for it, and he doesn't really like boas so much. So that's another reason why we don't have a new one or anything like that. But I would say get one if you're looking into it. Just make sure you have it safe and secure so it can't get out, and you feed it quite often so it doesn't want to get out and hurt anybody, and just, yeah, follow what the pet stores tell you to do and stuff like that. So otherwise, I will be on with another life topic. Thanks for tuning in.